Let's go back to weekly. New hole, new me. Am I the asshole for throwing out my husband's friend's food? Was it growing an eyeball? Who knows? Maybe throwing out someone else's food could definitely qualify as big hole energy. It could. We'll see. We're pretty split on this hole. This is a pretty split hole. My husband loves his buddy Steve. I would love Steve a lot more if he wasn't always trying to give my cat human food when he is visiting. I have explained it to him many times. Steve, do not give her anything. She is only allowed to have cat food. I have had to do this literally every time he has been in my house with food. Nevertheless, Steve persists. I come home yesterday and Steve and my husband are throwing darts in the garage. Then they go out and come back with some fast food, including a meal for me. I turn my back for one moment to get some plates, and then I turn back around and I see Steve offering my cat a piece of garlic bread. I yell at him to stop it already, grab his whole meal and dump it in the trash. He calls me a bitch and reaches for my meal. I grab it away and yell at him to get the hell away from my cat until he's learned some manners. They go back out to the garage and I overhear my husband trying to reason with him a bit, but he's not having it. He storms out. Steve is pissed. Husband is understanding where I'm at with him, always trying to feed the cat, but also annoyed and says I had no right to throw out his meal. I really don't want to see Steve in my house at all anytime soon, but at the very least, I don't want him here with any food until he learns to keep it to himself. Right. How many times? How many times? Yeah. Cats cannot have garlic. Sometimes you need to be an ass to get a point across. Still makes you an ass, but live it. Right. Exactly. I don't think OP is an asshole. He could fucking kill her cat. That's true. Yeah. I think ESH here. Like, yeah, kind of a shitty thing to throw the whole food away. But like, this man needed to get this man needed to be taught a lesson. I think we need to add another Bing hole square. This man needs to be taught a lesson, which is different from hit him with your car. Multiple warnings over multiple occasions. Right, absolutely. He refused to learn the nice way. Right. Like, how fucking difficult is it to just not give your friend's cat human food? Just fucking stop. Honestly, it sounds like they just have no respect for OP. A justified asshole. They're protecting their cat. Yeah, like, justified asshole. Right. But I mean, if it's a justified asshole, that's still an asshole. Oh my God. Yeah, I think I found a new one. New Dicky going live now. Put your points in the Dicky. Am I the asshole for telling my sister-in-law I will disown her if she gets pregnant? What? Pignat. Perginat. Pregante. Let's see, what's the split on this asshole? 75% asshole, 25% not the asshole. All right, here we go. Throwaway, some details changed, mobile, so formatting, etc. I, 33F, live with my brother, 32M, and his new wife, 34F. Things have been fine to a point, and I definitely appreciate them taking me in during a time of need. Or that is not lost on me. I recognize they did not have to help me, and I am incredibly thankful that they have done that. But my sister-in-law has baby fever, and she is talking about trying to get pregnant. First of all, I know my brother had the snip after his divorce from his first wife. He would have to have the procedure reversed, and his insurance will not cover it. And to be frank, they cannot afford that. Part of why they allowed me to move in is because they are in financial trouble, and I am contributing quite a lot of money to bills right now. I cover probably 2/3 of all the bills because my sister-in-law doesn't work and my brother pays an ungodly amount of child support to his ex-wife. The financial issues can go ahead and be another point in the situation. My sister-in-law also can barely take care of herself. She sleeps most of the day. She does not clean. She does not cook. She doesn't take care of the child she already has. Her daughter is 6 years old, and she doesn't even interact with her unless she has to. That is totally a separate issue. I have become a live-in maid and nanny on top of working 45 or more hours a week. My sister-in-law lost custody of her child about 2 years ago. He is 11 and living with family. I do not know why she even lost custody, but he says he was abused. She did not fight to get him back. 2 days ago, my brother told me he has an appointment to meet with his doctor to discuss the reversal so him and his sister-in-law can try for a baby. I told them they were out of their minds. It got explosive, and I finally asked who was going to take care of the baby when my brother works full-time. I work full-time, and she constantly makes excuses to not even do basic shit around the house, like take the dog outside. She really had the nerve to tell me, I thought you could handle them when you get off work before brother gets home so the load is evenly distributed. I am vying to have a baby so much that I want my husband to get his vasectomy reversed, but I expect you to take care of it. What the fuck? Yeah, fill out your entitlement squares again. I blew up. I told her I'm not going to be a parent to another one of her kids, and that if they really want to do this, then I am totally done and they are on their own. I told my brother I would always love him and help him if he needs me, but that I would never talk to sister-in-law and make sure the rest of the family disowns her too. I think I was probably the asshole for saying that the way that I did. She started crying and locked herself in the bedroom. My brother is threatening to kick me out, and again, I might be the asshole for this. I told him he can't afford to kick me out, and he can't afford a replacement maid/nanny like I have been. I told our mom about what happened, and she not only thinks I'm not the asshole, but is now mad at my brother. Our dad, however, said I am the asshole because it isn't my place to say anything about my brother's decisions. I mean, it kind of is. You're all in the same housing situation. And this decision is a huge upset to your housing situation. So Reddit, am I the asshole? There's an edit here. I had to omit some things before publishing this post on account of the character limit. I do not know how that works with edits, but I'll find out in a moment here. 1, I moved in over a year ago when I was down on my luck and unemployed. The conditions for me moving in was that I help around the house until I was back on my feet. Their financial situation changed though, and they asked me to stay, which is why I've been living with them for this long. What I did not expect was to get almost 100% of the workload in the home, in addition to working longer hours than my brother. We have had multiple conversations about how I felt it was unfair that I do so much, and my sister-in-law said that they helped me, so I am obligated to help now. Had I known this had been thrown in my face, I would have rather been homeless. 2, I chose to be child-free, but I love my step-niece, and leaving at this point would hurt her the most. CPS has been called many times, not even by myself, but their friends and my brother's ex-wife, because they feel my niece is being neglected. My ex-sister-in-law specifically said emotional abuse and neglect, and that she had witnessed forms of humiliation in the past as punishment. My niece is definitely troubled. She has a therapist. I am really limited on what I can do when the people who are supposed to help just won't. 3, I am still reading comments, but I will reply as I can. Holy Jesus fucking shit. No. Yeah, absolutely disown your sister-in-law. My God. You should not be a parent, let alone looking at having more children. Yeah, not the asshole, even a little bit. That's sad. I feel bad for these kids. Oh, here we go. Am I the asshole for smoking weed on my deck? Am I the asshole for smoking weed on my deck? I am 24, live next to this couple with 2 kids. My deck is pretty close to their backyard, and it started to become an issue. I sometimes smoke weed after I get home from work to unwind and deal with some anxiety. My neighbors have started to complain to me about it. A month ago, the husband knocked on my door and told me to stop doing it on my deck. I told him quite literally the only place I can do it. He then told me he doesn't feel safe letting his kids play in the backyard until I stop smoking, and that he doesn't want his kids to play in the backyard if he catches a whiff of it. I said, sorry, but I'm not going to stop, and well, I'm well within my rights to do it. I told him I'll avoid smoking if I see his kids outside. I also said I don't complain when him and his friends drink in their backyard and get loud and really late hours. He threatened to get the police involved, and I invited him to do so because, like I said, I was well within my rights to. He ended up filing a complaint with the HOA, and they sided with me and told him that it's perfectly legal to do. His wife came up to my house yesterday and kindly asked me to stop and said it drives him nuts when he looks out the window and sees me do it. I told her that I'm really sorry, but it's none of his fucking business. I feel bad that what I'm doing is driving him nuts, but I feel like I am doing nothing wrong. Am I the asshole? No.
Smoke weed every day.
Many secret patties later.
I'm so distracted now. We did one post about weed and we immediately started talking about food for half an hour. Anyway, should we inspect more holes? Speaking of petty tea, oh my God, here we go. Am I the asshole for telling my parents I'm willing to sell my forgiveness? That's good. Louis, you're in your fuck parents era? Does that count for daddies? My parents expected me to be independent the minute I turned 18. They gave me the money they had saved up for my education, and they started charging me rent. I was lucky enough to have a partial scholarship and found a job in the city my university was in, so I moved there before the school year began. With my parents' money, my scholarship, and my wages, I was able to scrape by. I rarely, if ever, spoke to my parents. I was kind of busy. I guess they decided they didn't want that kind of relationship with my younger siblings because they were not presented with the same option. They both lived at home all through university and even afterwards. I'm 34 now with a decent job and a great girlfriend whom I will be marrying this summer. Good for you. Good for you. Hell yeah. I sent my parents and siblings an invitation. They called me to ask why they were not involved in the wedding. I responded that they hadn't really been a part of my life in 16 years and that I was being nice by inviting them. They said that they acknowledged that they made mistakes when I was young, but that was in the past, that I should get over it. Against my fiance's advice, I sent them an itemized bill for everything I paid for myself that they freely gave my brother and sister. I said if they wanted to be a part of my life, they had to ante up. Oh, yeah! I can feel how big your dick is from here! My God! That feels good. Oh! They said that they cannot afford that because they are in debt from helping my siblings out. I laughed at that and said, I hoped I would see them at the wedding, and hung up. My family are all getting a hold of me to let me know how much I'm hurting my parents. Fuck them. They fucked up. You take that shit with you for the rest of your goddamn life. You needed your parents to be supportive of you in that moment, and they kicked you on the fucking curb and said, fend for yourself, you little fucker. Exactly. Treating your kid like a burden is a good way to make them never talk to you again. Yeah, being a parent doesn't end when a kid turns 18. No, it fucking does not. It is a lifetime commitment. Oh, wait, sorry, we're not done. The thing is that I don't want their money, and I don't want anything from them at all other than their attendance at my wedding. If they can't do that, then I'm fine with our yearly phone call. Am I the asshole? No. Not the asshole even a little bit. Not the asshole. Maybe the itemized bill was a bit much, but I imagine it was cathartic for you. Your parents haven't been around in a decade and a half. They have a lot of nerve to ask to be involved. Not being involved in your wedding is just reaping what they sowed. Congratulations on your upcoming wedding. Absolutely, 100%. If they can't just show up to a wedding and be NPCs, they're the problem. Right, no. Fuck that. His parents call once a year and expect this. Fuck them. OP absolutely slayed. OP slayed so hard. Barbecue sauce on my titties. Do it, Lewis. You won't. Do man titties count? Absolutely. If I do not see some replies of some delicious bara titty action with barbecue sauce on them, I will be disappointed. I'm an equal opportunity titty enjoyer, you know?